Hey everybody, and welcome back. In this video, what we're going to talk about is forearm rotation and why there's so many different instructors out there that really kind of get this wrong. Okay, but before we get into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the notifications button, all that stuff, because it helps the channel grow. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. All right, the way that forearm rotation is really being taught right now, if I put this club down in front of me or on the side of me for a second, most people think that if you're turning your forearms, it's like this steering wheel type of thing, right? So if I was going to turn the car to my right, you would go like this with the steering wheel. Well, if I turn it to the left, see what happens to the forearms. The forearms aren't really rotating the way it's being taught as much as they're just kind of turning. So if you see this for a second, if I put my forearms down and they're like this and I turn them, that's great. But if I'm here and I rotate them, look at the difference. You can see the muscles in my forearms kind of popping and all these different things. But if I just turn them, look how you don't see that same muscular definition as if I really rotate them. So let's figure out how to do this correct once and for all. Okay? What you want to do when you're set up and you've made the takeaway, which we have covered before on this channel. Now, once you get to here, this is where the rotation in the forearm happens. So all of a sudden, you guys have heard me talking about rolling the hands in, up and in, all these things. So, right, once we get here, now I'm going to rotate this part of my left forearm to where it goes like this. Now, what we're really going to do, what I want you to do, is I want you to change the word rotate and turn it into the word spiral, okay? So all of a sudden, watch what happens. We get to let me get set up like Mr. Hogan, okay? So we've got our little trigger. Then we move the takeaway up and in. Now from here, I'm going to spiral this whole forearm. And when you do that, look how the rotation of my body stays intact, okay? So now let's do it the incorrect way, which is going to be more like turning the steering wheel. So if I get here and I turn the steering wheel, watch, you'll look at my rotation when I'm doing this, okay? So I've gone to the end of the takeaway. Now I'm going to rotate the steering wheel in the car and look at my rotation. You might say, oh, okay, that's pretty good. But let's get here, same movement. So I've triggered, done all those wonderful things. Now, instead of turning the steering wheel, I'm going to spiral my arm and look at the difference in my rotation, okay? There is a kinematic sequential event that is truly happening when you spiral your arms. When you spiral your arms, it's connecting back into the body from the inside out, not the outside in. The body's rotating. As the body's rotating, the club gets taken away. The hands and arms do nothing till the end of the takeaway. Then as you continue to rotate, then you spiral that left forearm, and it puts you up in this position that is absolutely incredible. So let me show you this from down the line. If we think about the turning of the steering wheel to rotate my arms, which is really not rotating them, it's just kind of turning them, if you will. So all of a sudden we're here. I'm going to do it wrong, and I'm going to say it's turn the steering wheel. So when I get here, the end of the takeaway, I'm going to turn the steering wheel. Now, when I turn the steering wheel, look how this club shaft is above my right forearm, our trail forearm. So all of a sudden I'm here, I've taken it away. I'm going to turn the steering wheel, see how this shaft will automatically get above. And to a lot of people in the traditional golf swing, or the modern teachings, if you will, when I get here and I put that up, they're going to say this is parallel or on plane to the shaft plane. Here's the shaft plane. They get up here and they say, oh, well, this is on plane to the shaft plane, okay? So I went here, I turned the steering wheel to get to the top, and then they're going to say from here that these arms, as they turn, what you need to do is make them turn like this. So it would be here, and then fire with your lower body and all these things. Now watch what happens if we do it with the spiral. I'm here, now I spiral. Now, you tell me, here's where I'm at. Here's the shaft plane. Here's spiral, okay? That spiral, look at where my hand is at. Look at how the club head is pinning right in the middle of my right forearm. But if I do the turning the steering wheel the way they're talking about, go here, turn the steering wheel. Look what just happened. My club went from up here to where if I spiral it, it's down here. So I'm not really doing anything except for right here. Now I'm spiraling that hand. And look where I'm at every single time. Okay? So then when we go to the top from here, I'm here. I'm going to keep this spiral in the arm. I'm going to come down until I get to this position on the right side of my right leg. Now remember, there's been a couple of videos where I talk about the release and all these different things, right? Watch what happens. We're going to do it the right way, which is a spiral. So I get here, I've spiraled up, now I'm starting to come down, coming down. I've still got the spiral. I've still got all this tension here. And then right when I get to this side of the right leg, I come through and I'm spiraling up with the trail arm. Where most people, they're going to get here and they're not going to spiral this arm up. They're going to try to push and extend this arm out. What we're really doing is we've spiraled the left arm up. We get to the release position and then we're spiraling. Look at my hand. It's going like this and it's spiraling. So what that looks like with the club in my hand here comes through and it's spiraling. We've all seen that picture of Hogan, or at least most of us have, right? Where you see him and he's like this, and that's because he has spiraled this thing. And I'll bring a picture up on the screen of what this looks like. He gets here, spiraling. It's spiraling up this side. Why? Because it spiraled on the trail side. So all of a sudden, what I mean by that, the left arm spiraled into the trail side of the body. As we get to the release position, the body's turning and the arm is spiraling to the lead side. Okay? Give this a try for yourself. All you got to do is stand up and say, hold the steering wheel, turn it this way. You can see how there's many different things in my body being activated to do this. Now, if I go like this and I spiral my hands, look at this. I'm spiraling my forearms and my hands. But if I just turn them, this is all that's happening. We really have to spiral this. And when we spiral this, look at how big my forearms get all of a sudden. Here, kind of average looking forearms, but now I'm going to spiral them. Look at how big my forearms get. They become muscular. They become activated. All the sensors in my body are saying, wow, this feels really darn good. It's not, it doesn't hurt. It's not stressful. It's just rotate them. And when they're spirally rotated, you are in for the ride of your life because it's going to become a lot of fun. So all of a sudden we're here, we've taken the club away, we're going to spiral that left arm and watch what happens to this trail elbow. When I start spiraling, look how this is coming back into me. It's never going to be floating away from me. So all of a sudden I'm here and I've started to spiral. So remember, guys, remember I talk about the engine of the right elbow. Watch what happens. We're here. The engine of the right elbow is coming in while I'm spiraling this thing with my lead arm. And then all of a sudden, it just takes us to the top to where the hands are the last thing there. The elbow is always going to win the race. But if I get here and I turn the steering wheel, look at how the hands are going to win the race. Very slight. You have to know what you're looking for. But when we get here and we are pulling the elbow in while we're spiraling the left arm, we get to the top. Now we just start coming down, and you are going to be, you cannot get into a better delivery position than what I'm showing you right now. The club, because we spiraled the left arm correctly, look at how the club is sitting on my right forearm. So remember, guys, if you want to get the most out of your swing and you really want to finally get this on the real plane, okay, because some of the other videos that you're going to see about forearm rotation, they're saying this spiraling, they don't call it spiraling, they call it rotation, turning the car wheel is going to get you onto the perfect plane. And I'm going to tell you right now, it absolutely is not. It absolutely is not. What's going to get you onto the perfect plane? We'll review it real quick. I'm going to turn the arms. Nope, picked up the club. I'm going to spiral the lead arm. Now I'm on plane. And this plane is just going to keep going around my body. And then in the downswing, it's going to start working around my body at will. So if you're looking to improve your game, truly understand what rotating the forearms really means. For us, instead of using the word rotation, let's start to use the word spiral. All right, guys, hope that helps. We'll see you in the next video.